This show covers a unique blend of comedy, drama, and cultural storytelling in an amazing way.
Storytelling to a different level where it's heartfelt, meaningful, and it's still funny.
Yeah,
He still somehow, with all the sadness that has happened in the past 15 months, he brought some joy to it as well to understand that the Palestinian people are resilient no matter where they go in the world.
it was a whole eight episode series of actually humanizing Palestinians. What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out channel. This is a review for the Netflix show Mo season 2 that just came out a week ago. Kibbs and I both binged this. This show had so much to it that we felt like we had to give this a review and express how it made us feel and the thoughts behind it. Before we get into it, guys, if you haven't already, please do like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into it, man. This show, Mo, absolutely fantastic. I mean, it really just blew me away, man. I mean, this carries on. This show, this the first season, this carries on from season 1. Right at the end of season one was kind of talking about his life, talking about the struggles of immigration and stuff like that. At the end of season 1, he somehow got kidnapped and got deported to Mexico, or not deported, but he ended up in Mexico. But this show covers a unique blend of comedy, drama, and cultural storytelling in an amazing way. And what to expect through this review and what we expected through season 2 was just unbelievable.
Mm,
Unbelievable storytelling of the struggles of immigration, but the struggles of Palestine and Palestinians and the land there and fitting in the culture of America, and humanizing so much of Palestinians, which, we've been talking about this for ages, and it's
mm,
been, especially last year and a half, the dehumanization of the Palestinians. And the way this show, the way Mo put it together, and the acting behind it was just in this environment of comedy, because he's a comedian, absolutely fantastic. I kept saying I'm surprised that Netflix allowed him or allowed this show to air, because we all know what goes on in the media. We all know that the Zionists suppress the Palestinian voice.
mm.
And for the fact that he was able to put this show together, because it wasn't just an interview, it wasn't just a Palestinian voice, it was a whole eight episode series of actually humanizing Palestinians and talking about their land. I mean, absolutely amazing, man. Kid, what was your thoughts, man?
No, good show, bro. So is there any TV show that made me cry as much as this one did, even though it's a comedy drama? It was this, bro. It was this. The struggles of, getting citizenship as a refugee. Like some of those scenes were hard. Like yeah, you feel for the minute. Do you speak English? Of course I do, motherfucker. The struggles, the misinterpretation. Bro, the show's great. The show's great, and it just hits home even more because not that he showed us, what it's like to be a Palestinian, what they are going through. His mum, his brother, the story with the family. Like, it's so, it's in its own. Like, remember you were talking about ecosystem. Like, there's so there. It's what we do as Muslims. Uh, is have that unity and being together and that unity. Uh, and his mum, that quote, bro. His mum said it, and I was like, "Why are you making me cry for? Why are you saying that for?"
Mm.
The world will always do that to ethnics, which is a shame. You feel like we should come to a point where we're 2025, bro. We in 2025. The fact that I'm still seeing stories like this to this day, oh, bro, great show, representation to its fullest. Uh, And because
Bang
it's based on
popular.
Mo's, actual life as well. He's some of the things that he's had to go through, uh, as a person as well, of what he has had to go through. He's such a fuck up, bro. He's such a
Mm.
fuck up. And there was moments where I was like, why does he remind me of me for? He makes so many silly choices, silly decisions without actually going through the process of trying understanding it a little bit more, he reminded me of me so much. Uh, and how I am, I suppose, with my humor and having moments of Kibbs, you could have had that, but you went and fucked it up. Why? What was it? Because your pride. We all have pride. We have this thing with us, this ego. That moment with the ambassador was hilarious, bro. I was
Amazing.
cracking up. And the thing was, he was that like that much away, but his pride, him as a person, him as a Muslim, he couldn't let that go. And I
To
connected
do the
in that
right
moment
thing.
because
He done the
yeah,
right thing. I mean,
yeah,
we talk about today. I mean, you spoke about we're in 2025. Like Trump just made a comment yesterday with that war criminal sitting right next to him that we are going to occupy Gaza. We are going to remove the Palestinians from Gaza and we're going to rebuild there for, yeah, you know what I mean? Basically, not for the Palestinians. Now, he just said it yesterday or 2 days ago or whatnot,
I
right?
know, I
And,
know.
and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's why this show he done a great job of, like I say, like telling the story and humanizing it, man. I mean, it's not a Piers Morgan interview where people are arguing and giving their points, which is also in one way great. But this, like I said, this takes the platform, the Netflix platform, it takes the drama platform, the comedy platform to really express and humanize the Palestinians and also humanize him in a way where he's like you said, he makes mistakes. Yes, he's a Palestinian, he's going through all of that stuff, but in general life, he's making mistakes because he's a human being.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about representation, I mean, done right, done right because he's telling his story. He's not
Mm,
trying to tell a story and they just put a brown person in there, or Palestinian or Muslim or whatever. And he's telling his story. He's humanizes his character with the flaws that he has, the
mm.
humor that he has, the love that he has for his family, the trying to do the right thing. You know what I mean? I mean that whole part with the ambassador. I mean the reason why it was such an amazing scene. It's like it's literally what we go through today. Where we got shadow banned for speaking up for Palestine, right? This guy's got an opportunity to go back to the States and he's like, fuck you, I don't want it. It's like, it's just hilarious because the guy refused to call what's happening there an occupation. So he was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, use the word occupation and that, and he refused to do it. And it's the exact same conversation that we're having now. This is what was so amazing about the show and why I keep saying why I'm shocked that Netflix allowed it on and why the Zionists didn't take it down. Because he mentioned everything. That, he mentioned Zionists. He mentioned how much money the US fund is for. He mentions I'm surprised they were able to shoot in Palestine. Like I'm surprised that happened, that they allowed them to shoot that and do
Did
those
they
scenes.
shoot
And
that there?
I have to assume it is. Is it not? Don't you think it
No,
wasn't? Or
I don't think so.
you don't think it was? You know what? I
No.
didn't even look into it because I just assumed it was because it just. But you're right. Maybe that was a set in somewhere in the States or whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think
But
that
you know what?
that's got to be.
Because you know what? I'm gonna have to Google it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't know if it's true or not, but listen, uh, amazing show, bro. It hit points where I didn't think it would hit, and he reminds me of me so much. Uh, that it really connected to me, not just because of the story itself and how large scale it is. I think as a person, Mo really connected to me. And I love his comedy shows, but this is him. He's representing himself in this story. Uh, his his pride, his joy that he has for his father and what his father did, like that part in the mosque. Oh man,
Smash.
like
Oh my God.
it makes you feel like, my dad this, like you don't realize it's only when you get older you're like, oh, my dad did this for us, my dad did this for us, and and sometimes you kind of think, what have I done, to make him proud in that process, and I think he went through that process, and that connected to me on a deeper level. It's got me all teary out right now. uh
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
again, what I loved about it is was because he added the humor. He was like, "Who done their azan 10 minutes early?" And I just couldn't stop laughing. But the fact that he put the whole azan in there, again, bro, the whole azan was in there. It was amazing. It was beautiful to hear that
Yeah,
they put the
definitely.
whole azan in there. The meaning of what the azan mean, basically, call to prayer, come to prayer.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, just an element of like, who read that Azan 10 minutes early? I'm busting up. And then it just goes back to Your father set up the speaker system
Yeah.
in this mosque. Absolutely beautiful. Just quickly on that note, we were talking about the difficulties. So this is a quote from him saying, while the difficulties of actually shooting in Palestine meant that most of the interior scenes and some of the exterior scenes were filmed in Malta. The rest of the exterior, Amer says, was filmed in Palestine. We had to set up a splinter unit to get different shots there. So, okay, yeah, it was
Wow.
definitely hard to get some of the shots there, which made sense because I was like, creating the checkpoints and all that stuff. I'm like,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
did you
yeah.
shoot that? So obviously they didn't. It was shot in Malta,
That's
and
crazy.
it makes sense. But I
That's
mean,
really
this is
cool.
going back to my point. I just surprised that Netflix allowed it. It's like the Zionists didn't say anything. But I think we're at a point after a year and a half that Zionists are exposed so much. It's like, what else? What are you gonna hide? How can you can't hide it no more? Because what would he have done? He probably would have just released it on YouTube, or he would have released it on on his own platform. Like you can't hide these things no more. I'm
No,
so
no, no,
happy
no, no.
that Netflix. And look, I give credit to Netflix for allowing it on. But with Mo and his activism in regards to the Palestinian struggle, I have to be honest with you, I haven't heard much from him in the year. um, I heard him in the beginning and he was like really pouring his heart out in an interview and whatnot.
Yeah,
Then I
yeah.
haven't really heard, but I like this was an example of I mean, again, maybe he has been doing stuff in the background that I don't know of, obviously, but this was an example where he just compiled everything into this one show, which really expresses the struggle, man, of the Palestinian struggles and asylum and immigration. And what I loved about it as well is that it wasn't just about him. He had a whole scene with the Mexicans as well, and the South Americans as well. He wanted to emphasize on that as well, like the struggles that they're going through, how they cross the borders. There was that one scene when he was in the prison cell, the cell thing, and he wanted to kind of even express, even though I'm going through my stuff, there's people out there. This guy, I'm privileged compared to other people.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he sat next to the guy, and the guy was like, what's your story?" And the guy was talking about he went through a desert and this forest and this jungle, and he had to battle this dude and whatnot. And then the guy asked Mo, and he's like, I just jumped on a bus, man. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? He still expressed that he's still privileged compared to other people. And I love that he did that, man. It was great storytelling in this show. Unbelievable writing, I have to say.
Yeah. No, definitely is. Definitely is. I know the heart of this was, mostly created around what happened. Uh, as you said, he was in an interview with Jon Stewart, and it was like, you know, it was excruciating to try and
Yeah.
put this out there, knowing what is happening to the people of Gaza right now. And uh, I'm glad, bro. There's more stories coming out now about this. Uh, there's more stories coming out, and I think we need to see it more, and we need to push those more. So I've got my review for season one. I'm gonna upload onto social media, and then I'll do a proper breakdown. As we're gonna have this, but I'll promote it that we've done a long form version. But here's a short version of season two review. But I think people need to hear these stories. People need to see these stories, and I feel like there's been a shift and a change in us as well, with how we perceive life as well, and humanity, and had the dehumanization, and as Muslim brothers as well, to push it out there as well, to kind of educate people along the way. I mean, you can't force anybody to. There's always going to be two sides to the story, but we could only tell you what we feel and how we are and what we've gone through. And I think what Mo did there was really tell that story, because that moment in the end when they're in the airport, you
Mm.
know, and you had the quote from his mum, and you're waiting for him to fuck up. You're waiting for him because he's so proud of who he is as well. He's so proud. Even though he's a fuck up, he's still so proud of himself. He's the best hustler on the street. Yeah,
Yeah.
he wants to be the last person to say something. I've noticed that as well. Throughout the
Mm.
season, he wants to be the last person to say something. Uh, Anyway, man, listen, good on him. This is a good show. Like, it really brings storytelling to a different level, where it's heartfelt, meaningful, and it's still funny.
Yeah.
He still somehow, with all the sadness that has happened in the past 15 months, he brought some joy to it as well, to understand that the Palestinian people are resilient no matter where they go in the world. Uh, they will be resilient, and the seeds are all over the world, right, of Palestinian people, uh, whatever they do moving forward. But nobody will ever forget that. And I think more content more art. I'm not going to call it content. More art like this is what people need to see because this is how people connect. Because even for us, 9/11 happened. We went through our parts of racism as well. Uh, we still go through that parts of racism to this day because of that, because of how scared people are and propaganda. So this is outside of the story as well. The fact that he put in the azan and he does his prayers and stuff like that. Those are beautiful things to see. You don't see that most of the time. If you do see it, it's Allahu Akbar and something goes wrong. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But stories like Four Lions, uh, this one, Mo, what else is there? There's loads of films. There is loads of good films out there that you guys can watch. There's really good British TV programs based around Muslims as well. And I'm so happy to see this here. And it's kind of sparked a few ideas in my head where it's like, how do you tell stories from now on? How do you do something creatively different to what other people are doing? Uh, but yeah, it'll be interesting. Definitely. Very good, bro. Very
Yeah,
good.
and that last episode out of everything, right, was such a like love letter to Palestine. And regardless of what shots they got from there, or just done it in Malta, it was just the visuals of like this is the land, and it just kind of like he said it in the John Stewart might have said it on the interview. It's just kind of like you're showing people that this is a group of human beings who
Mm.
this land, this piece of land, their heritage, their grandparents, their great grandparents, their great, like their heritage comes from this piece of
Yeah.
land, which they have not had the opportunity to give the voice just because of the controls in the world. And that's all he was showing in that last episode. It was like a love letter to Palestine, them being in Palestine. And yes, they showed some of the stuff like the checkpoints and the struggles that the Palestinian people go through, like what the settlers do. The settlers just
Mm.
random dudes with a machine gun, like a bunch of terrorists with machine guns, who just threaten who steal the Palestinians' homes and puts their lives in danger. But he was just showing that all that this last part was a love letter to Palestine and just little conversations that you have with his uncle. Like, look at the village over there. You see those houses over there? That was where your grandfather, your father kind of grew up, and but now they're taken over by settlers. Like these little conversations they was having is like I said, it's a Palestinian telling his story. It's not a Palestinian on a news segment for 5 minutes where the news anchor is clearly against them, and demonizing them and bring up October 7th and bring up Hamas and all this bullshit. This is not that. This is a real. This was a platform where he was able to really tell the stories and allowed to
Mm.
be told the stories, because he also mentioned as well that they were asking like, "Oh, are you going to bring up October 7th all this story?" It's like, no, like I'm telling the Palestinian story, and that behind October 7th, there's so much behind it. Do I can't go back 75 years or longer. So if I talk about that, I'm gonna have to go back 75 years to how it led up to
Mm.
this sort of thing. That's a whole nother
Exactly.
show. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother movie. That's probably not in his platform because he's a comedian, or maybe he could do it. I don't know, but it's just those little things. So that last episode was a true love letter to Palestine, and I hope I'm telling bare people watch it, man. I'm promoting it because I want people to watch it. I hope it becomes very successful. I want it to become successful, not because
Same man.
it's a great show. It's funny, it's lighthearted and whatnot. But there's so much story and heart behind it. The humanization of Palestine with no interruptions from anyone was just fantastic, man. What a great show. Mo smashed it, man.
Mm.
I've just like my fandom level for him just went up this roof. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I just
100.
couldn't
Yeah.
believe what he did and how he did it. I was like, you're fantastic. You're amazing. And he's in the comedy world. He's good friends with Dave Chappelle, Jon Stewart, all these sort of guys, and they're supporting him as well. And I love that, man. I love the fact that this came out on Netflix and was able to tell that story, man. Love letter to Palestine, man. That really, really is, man. Absolutely beautiful.
No, 100%, bro. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Uh, I don't know what else more I can say, bro. Like,
I mean, I mean, he also touches stuff on, like I said, humanized stuff, like his relationship with Maria.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The love of his life, who's a Mexican and whatnot. Just the dramas between them. It's again, it's humanizing the Palestinians. He's a human, so they're breaking up. He thought that she was gonna, he was kind of like, "Don't wait for me," and she kind of took that serious, and he got upset with it, and she ended up with an Israeli, Zionist, right? So he was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what the fuck? That's the biggest betrayal ever." And
Was that what was it? What did he call it? Emotional terrorist. Was it?
emotional terrorism. Yeah, you're an emotional terrorist. Oh my god, that was actually hilarious with those lines, man. But that's what. Listen, man, he's a human. That's the sort of relationship dramas that he
It
was
happens,
going
yeah.
through. You know what I mean? And the happy story at the end. I mean, there was a
Oh,
few happy moments, right? One he got with Maria, how I mean, they finally got together and they got married and whatnot. The
yeah.
other thing he did get is his parents got his mother and his brother got they got what do you call
Citizenship,
it,
yeah.
citizenship, which was amazing. Now he didn't because of the whole Mexico thing and whatnot. Oh no, was it the Mexico thing or the thing that happened in the restaurant? I can't remember what it was.
That
No, it was the
The
Mexico
Mexican
thing.
thing. Yeah, the Mexican thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, again, like these were some happy moments that he got with Maria. He got with the love of his life. I mean, his friend Hamid, is it Hamid? That guy hooking him up with that chick was
Man.
hilarious because she was fine as well. Don't get me wrong, but
I
she had
slap you with
issues.
the five, bro. That's my
Bro,
new thing, bro. I'm gonna slap you
Hamid
with the
was
five.
hilarious. He wasn't from Palestine, was he? He was some kind of Arab, right? Because he
No,
was
I think he's Palestinian.
okay. He was hilarious, bro. This guy just cracked me up for the whole show. His one-liners, his when he gets into it, his aggressive comedy, his aggressive
Yeah, yeah.
dialogue was just hilarious, man.
Get the fuck out of my house. Bro, Hamid, he was jokes, bro. He made me laugh, bro. Militant guy trying to hook him up because I'm gonna have to kick you out of the house, bro. Like, can't disrespect me like that, but inshallah, I'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Uh, he was good. I like the two characters that are in the calf in the shisha bar because one's a Jewish guy, one's the
Mm,
Palestinian, and they go back and forth on each other, but they have this mutual respect. And I think this is one thing that people misconstrued. Yeah, uh, Judaism religion was hijacked by Zionists. They're the ones that made it shit. Other than that, most of them they all got along. We
hmm
still get along. You know what I mean? I got nothing against my Jewish brothers and sisters, but it's what the Zionists have done. Uh, and they've been more exposed now. You heard the word Zionist, but you never heard the amount that it has been exposed in the past year and a half. And I mean, he doesn't go into it too much, but the dream sequences that he has.
the key.
The key, you remember the first scene was the teepee, the Native
Yeah.
American teepee, and it kind of starts from there, and then kind of goes into the dream of seeing his grandma, grandparents, and uh, with the key, which ended up becoming this thing that saved his life in the end, which is really, really interesting, like
Yeah.
how he put that message in there and how these dreams were sent to him. Uh, but again, man, his emotional thing with his granddad as well, which was quite, you always wish you had more time, right? When he was like, "Can I keep granddad's photo and his passport
Mm.
as a memory?" And the uncle was like, "Nah, nah, but you could take a
That was
picture."
see, that was powerful in a sense because you're like, no, you're not, even though your family and it's your grandfather, you're not taking this key from this land. This key belongs to this land. Like those little things just meant so much. Like, because you were just expecting to be like, of course, it's your grandfather. So like, hold them close to your heart, keep that. It's like, no, that key stays in this land. Like, those little things. This is what I'm trying to say with the storytelling and the writing. I feel like, and I'm not saying no one else does this, but I feel like scene from scene, dialogue from dialogue was thought through with the
Yeah,
real life
yeah,
struggles of refugees, of Palestinians, all that sort of stuff. Like scene by scene, like something as simple as that made me think like, yeah, you shouldn't take the key back. Like he's right, that key deserves on this land to stay in Palestine. I mean, it's amazing story writing. I mean, again, I don't know shit about story writing, but when I see that. I can't not praise that to be like,
Mm.
yeah, that makes sense why the key stays there. It's absolutely amazing.
No, definitely. Definitely good. Definitely good.
And
Oh,
his,
man.
yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I guess that gives the overall plot and everything, gone through all of that sort of stuff. I mean, like, I really wanted to like have this open session to just talk about what we loved and how it made us feel and everything like that. What before we move on to like historical facts and stuff, like, was there anything else? I mean, his friends were jokes, the relationship. I mean, the relationship with the Israeli boyfriend thing, the emotional terror was
That was funny.
hilarious.
That was funny. That was funny.
His restaurant and all this sort of stuff was joke. I mean, again, just little scenes with him in the beginning before he knew that was Maria's boyfriend. It was like there was like a common. Can I borrow your lighter?
If
Oh,
I know,
do you have a
yeah, yeah,
lighter?
yeah, yeah.
Like there was kind of like there was nothing there until you realize, oh, he's a Zionist. He's trying to steal my girl. All this sort of stuff. Not that he's trying to steal the girl, but you know, there's all these sort of things that they put in. Like there's so much, as you said, there's so much common grounds that we could find between, well, I don't know about Zionists, but the Jewish brothers, man, they're our brothers and sisters, man. They're our cousins, right?
Yeah.
End of the day, the Zionists have hijacked that religion to kind of cause this division where they're constantly going out there with the media and all this sort of shit. And these sort of things are important, like you said, the cafe scene to the show. Now, like there was no issues. Tell us what the issues were before the 1920s. Tell us. There was none.
Exactly.
So why is there an issue now? Go on, tell us. Clearly tell us why is there an issue now? Oh, like there's the Jewish land. No, there's an issue now because you tried to steal the land from the Palestinians. It's got nothing to do with the religions. It's you Europeans, colonizers, have tried to hijack this religion, have basically hijacked a religion, um, weaponized the struggles that they've gone through to steal the land of some indigenous people, and you've caused this problem. Before the 1920s, there was no problems. In fact,
Mm.
to this day, there's no problems between Muslims and Jewish brothers and sisters. We're all good. It's the Zionists and whatnot. And
Mm.
I think those scenes that he had was just them to kind of demonstrate some of that sort
Yeah,
of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, of
There is
course, yeah.
no issues between us. So it's absolutely amazing, man. And yeah, I mean, the only other scene that cracked me up that came to mind now was, I don't know why, but again, this is simple humor where he was sleeping on the hammock and turned around and fell in the shit. I was like, I don't know why.
But that's like the worst thing to happen. Like, worst thing to happen. Uh, and it was nice to see that their business was growing as well. Like
That
he
was a
had that
beautiful
moment where he
business.
was like, "Shit, everybody's just got along and like everybody's doing good. I think I should just go back to Mexico," which kind of hit me, and I was like, "Oh man, like we all go through a challenge and we all go through different steps in life, and you always kind of think like, will it be different if I wasn't there?" And there was an experience there. He wasn't there, and he's a hustler, so he kind of just got through. I mean, when he was living in Mexico and he was living in that janitor cupboard and the rest of it made me laugh. Uh,
That covered. But that, I mean, this is again a place of belonging. You know,
mm,
belonging to that land and all this sort of stuff. People belonging in a certain culture and whatever it is. I mean, that's what he's trying to understand. Do I even belong with my family? Like there was a sense of
yeah.
doubt that I don't even belong with my family. They're doing better without me or whatnot. But his mother, man, his mother was such a stone,
Mm,
like the heart of the show. You know, to just kind of, and that's what mothers are, man. That's what mothers
mm,
always do, man. They're the ones that kind of ground you, that kind of let you know no matter what, you belong. You belong here with this family. You belong with us and everything.
mm.
And that olive business again was just another beautiful way of keeping the Palestinian culture alive. And you know, he even expressed it when he tried to wanted to go back to Palestine and do the business there, like you know, from the real olives from Palestine. And they
Mm.
were again expressing like, listen, we won't be able to get approvals. Like we are on our land. This is our land, our olive trees and everything. But we are occupied by a group of Zionists who they won't allow the shipping to happen because it would happen to go through the checkpoints that the Zionists control. We won't be able to. I mean, all of these sort of things, again, putting it in there, like I say, really expressing the storytelling of the Palestinians of like, oh, why can't they just live good lives? How are they supposed to live a good life? They can't even do business on their own land. They can't even grow
Exactly.
olive trees. You just see these settlers Zionists coming in and chopping down their trees and doing this sort of stuff. So showing all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, no, I think, you know, I can't express how much of a great job he's done without reading a book, without, you know, really kind of investigating yourself. Like just a great job he done telling that Palestinian story. Absolutely amazing, man.
No, it's
Um,
really good, really good. Yeah, one to
let's
watch, guys. Don't miss out. Go grab it.
Yeah,
Go watch it.
you
Go
have
watch it.
to
It's on
watch it.
Netflix
You have
now.
to watch. You could binge through season 1 and 2 easy. And like I said, because it's so
Easy.
light-hearted and got humor in it as well, it just keeps you giggling throughout the time, man. Throughout the whole show. Let's go into some real and historical facts and themes, right? That we've
Hmm.
touched on a lot, but let's just kind of put them out there, right? The struggles of undocumented immigrants and the asylum process. He displayed all of that, not just for Palestinians, but for the Mexicans and all that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
So he really went through that. I mean, there was a scene in the beginning where he's just going to the guys like, I can't remember what he was asking for, but it's like a 1 day pass for him to go
Pass.
into the
Yeah.
States. Yeah, that was all it was. And the guy was just such a dick to him and just didn't give it to him. And that's what people go for all the time. It's a legitimate pass to go
Yeah.
through, but
Yeah.
they just don't, he
Uh,
couldn't even get that. Considering he has an American accent and all that sort of stuff, he couldn't even get that.
yeah. A Leslie Passy or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. The identity and belonging as a Palestinian American, right? The religious and cultural conflicts that he has, that's expressed through the show, the hustle culture and economic struggles of working class, as you said, is a great hustler, and he's you know what I mean, like what as a working class, he's selling like bootleg bags and shoes and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it goes to show that's an economy in the States. I mean, unfortunately, it is. But
Mm.
he was able to apply that to his business because he was such a great speaker. So he's able to,
Mm.
he messed up at the game because he's a bit of a fuck up here and there. He made certain bad decisions and everything, but he
Yeah.
was able to sell the oil. He was able to get that olive oil in big department stores. I have these meetings and whatnot because he's such a great talker
Yeah.
because he is a hustler. Um, the Palestinian refugee struggle, the reality of Palestinian asylum seekers in the US and legal obstacles. I mean, he spoke about this a little bit as well as being a Palestinian and an illegal immigrant in the US as well. It's like the US can't even deport him to like where? I don't like according to you, Zionists, I don't have a country. Like
Mm.
Palestine doesn't exist according to you. So where do you send me back? So the US, and I think he was talking about this, there's a fact that in the US, there's tons of people who are illegal immigrants who have been deported, but still in the US because they have no home to go to, right? And the Palestinian immigrant is a perfect example of where like
Yeah.
I'm here because you lot are stealing my land or supporting stealing my land. So I have to come here. Now you want to deport me, but you can't deport me back to my land because according to you, I don't have a land. According to you,
Mm.
you're stealing my land with the help of those Zionists over there. So
Exactly.
where do I go? Where do I go? Like because
Exactly.
of you lot. And there's a lot of them in America who who have to stay there, who are technically deported and stuff like that. So he shows
Yeah.
that struggle. The immigration system, as we spoke about, shows accurately portrays the challenge of, securing asylum in the US, based on, again, the US causing a lot of the reason why there's immigrants there.
Yeah.
Um, the Middle Eastern identity in America, the balance between preserving culture while integrating into American society. I think this was great. I mean, Hamid is a great example of who tried to integrate with the US society, where he's straight Arab and talks in his way and whatnot. But my guy's got guns parked everywhere. He married a Texan. He even spoke about on the dinner table when they were doing Thanksgiving that they were doing Thanksgiving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though they discussed Thanksgiving is really, them stealing the land from the indigenous Americans. So they even discussed that point. But that's them even showing that we're trying to incorporate into this culture that we're in, right? The American culture. But I mean, Hamid even talks about how much he loves America. He feels like America does give you an opportunity, does give people an
Mm.
opportunity and all that sort of stuff. So, they spoke about that. It wasn't about shitting on America, and that's not the case. It's about this is how we fit in. We do fit in. We do see the love that America has and the benefit you could get from America. But here's the reality of this
Mm.
situation. That this land was stolen from indigenous people. This Thanksgiving holiday is a holiday where it's a Thanksgiving, it's an indigenous holiday, really.
That's
It's
right.
the point where you stole a land from the indigenous people. So there was so much points made on just that one scene, which was absolutely amazing. The Islamic and cultural representation, the importance of halal food, prayer, and traditions. I mean, I think again, he done it in such a way where it's like, this is why I keep talking about this whole DEI stuff that we could talk about. But like, don't just throw an Islamic superhero or whatever it is and say, all right, you gotta like them. Like, you gotta give them character. And this is exactly what it is. Mo is such a relatable character, not just to Muslims or refugees or brown people, but to anyone struggling with, be it asylum, be it being a fuck up, be it trying to set up a business, relationship issues. He was a human being first.
Mm,
Then all the other stuff came into it, which is why he's relatable to anyone and everyone. So that was
exactly.
amazing. And I again, I can't stop saying it, but I love the fact that they showed him do the full azan and do prayer and everything. That was amazing to kind of display.
No, same here,
Um,
bro. Definitely, definitely. Oh,
and
so much
moving,
goodness.
yeah, so much. I mean, look, moving on to cinematography and direction. I mean, I think the realistic and intimate storytelling, which kind of discussed a little bit with naturalistic cinematography,
Mm,
and how the visuals showcase like Houston's diversity, which I thought which was pretty brilliant, because I think like the storytelling of, again, this goes into like fitting into the culture. Like when he was in Houston, there was so much things in regards to, like, just say for example that chili contest or the meat contest or whatever they
yeah, yeah,
went to,
yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever, and you just see loads of people, different people together in this community. I'm trying to say it wasn't he didn't he fit in. He's as Texan as anyone else. He says this himself. I'm as Texan as anyone else, and he just showed that in Houston how he fit in with everyone else, and the culture kind of
Yeah,
blends together.
exactly.
And it's just an
Yeah.
amazing way of just kind of like showing that in a cinematography sort of way, like, I mean, displaying that in a visual sort of way, which was amazing. And it just comes down to little, I'm assuming Houston um culture, which is, like I said, that chili, was it the chili contest or the meat eating contest or whatnot, where people would generally try, I think the barbecue contest or something like that.
Barbecue
But
contest, yeah.
yeah, just those little things were just absolutely amazing to put in there, because you're showing different parts of who this individual is.
Mm.
And he was born, I don't know if he wasn't born in Texas, he was born in
Kuwait, it
Kuwait.
was Kuwait. He was born in
Yeah, because
Kuwait,
yeah,
yeah.
and then because of the war there, he ended up coming here. But he's as Texan and as Houston as anyone, and that's him showing that um, I have embedded myself in this culture, but I'm still going to keep my values as a Palestinian, as a
Yeah.
Muslim, and everything. So that was absolutely amazing. I want to give a quick shout out to the cast,
Hmm.
and everyone involved. I mean, look, the series director was directed by Muhammad Amar, Muhammad. He done like 3 episodes. He directed like 3 episodes in the new
Yeah.
season. Someone called Solvan Naim directed 12 episodes from season 1 to season 2 as well. He's born to an Arab mother and a Jewish father. Interesting. So Arab mother, Jewish father. Slovan Slick name is an Emmy nominee and Peabody winner, Algerian
All right.
American director, writer, rapper from Brooklyn, New York. I mean, Slick directed a pilot of all episodes and critical claim 100% Rotten Tomatoes, fresh most series on Netflix, with A24 Rami Youssef Productions. I mean, amazing, bro. I mean, what else has he done? Power. He directed some episodes of Power. You know that show?
Okay. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, he's got actually a whole lot of stuff under his belt. Animal Kingdom, Buggy smashed it, man. Absolutely smashed it. The writing series writing credit goes to like Mo, done a lot of them as well of the writing, but there's so many other people: Rami Youssef, Azir Usman, Adil Kamal, Harris Down, Chris Gabo, Sophia Leah, Jacqueline
Okay.
Rivera, Anna Sanelias, and Louis Civoli. So many people were involved in the writing, which means like they must have collaborated and had so much conversations about, how do we talk about this writing? What do we talk about? What do we don't? How far do we talk
Mm.
about this writing? What do we express? I mean, I think there's great collaboration, storytelling, and writing between them all, and they all had to align basically to certain values and everything. The cast, of course, Muhammad Amer played Mo. You had Teresa Ruiz played his love life Maria. Omar Alba, who was Mo's brother, who plays a
Yeah.
very important part as well,
You
Samir.
know what? We didn't speak about Mo a lot on this one, but he did. He played a big part, and we'll go into that. Give credits to everybody else, bro.
Yeah, for a Farah basis, Toby Niwaji, who plays the Nigerian brother,
Yeah,
his best friend, and I love his mother. His mother was absolutely awesome as
yeah, it
well,
was so
showing
funny.
a bit of Nigerian culture in there as well. Hamid was played by someone called Moyad Al Al Nifai. I can't even pronounce his name to be
All
honest with you,
right.
but he's actually Saudi, bro. He's a Saudi Arabian
He's a
actor.
Saudi.
He's a Saudi, yeah. Saudi Arabian actor, comedian, musician known for his dynamic presence across films, television, and music.
All right, good
Um,
on him. Good on him.
yeah, so he's Saudi, man. Um, yeah, that's the main bulk of the cast, man. I just wanted to give him a shout because I think it's important, man, to give as much. I mean, obviously, there's a long list of people working in it and in the show and everything, but just wanted to give that a shout out because they deserve all the credit in the world for an amazing, amazing piece of writing. Um, yeah, his brother, bro. Like, just to kind of touch on him because we didn't really touch on him. I mean, again, another humanizing factor of the Palestinians, of a Palestinian. The fact that the ADHD, was it the ADHD?
No,
No,
well,
no,
autism. He was on the spectrum.
autism. That's the
Yeah.
autism. And you can kind of see that from season one, but the
Yeah,
fact
yeah,
that
of
they had
course.
to address it, and you can see the cultural differences where a cultural um a cultural mother, like someone from our side of the world, is just like, there's nothing wrong with him. He's my son. I love him to bits. We treat him like normal. That's what it is. Whereas, like,
Mm,
they never ever want to acknowledge the issue, and acknowledging the issue is not a bad thing. And this is where the sister, this is a part of Western culture that you bring it, where she
mm,
brought in, which is like, it's okay to acknowledge what's going on, and it's okay for him to have a conversation and go and get help, which is basically just having a conversation with an expert, which can help him not just feel like he can fit in because his family makes him feel fit in, but make him fit into society because he fits in with his
mm.
family, okay, but maybe he doesn't feel like he fits in with society or understands society, and this will give him an opportunity to fit in with society around not just the
Exactly.
US but the world. Because when he was doing the selling and whatnot, obviously he didn't know how to communicate properly, where he would say stuff which would drop sales, right? And this is the part that it's important that they express that, yes,
Mm,
cultural mothers and families like from these sort of cultures don't really talk about these things, but this is where we're adapting to Western society, and we're talking about, yeah, we should talk about these things so these individuals can fit in with the community and all that sort of stuff. I
exactly.
think you another important character, man.
No, definitely is. Definitely is. I think that is crucial, and how we normalize that as well. And I think if a family can normalize it and won't see it for any differences, then why can't society and the world see it that way? The problem is that it's because we live in a society and a world where we're labeled with everything, whether you black, brown, Muslim, Christian, Buddhism, disabled, non-disabled, autism or whatnot, we're labeled. And I think what the mother was trying to say that I don't have no labels in my house. I'm going to see them exactly as they are, which is hard because you don't want to accept the fact that there is something different. How do you normalize that and work with them on accepting that and moving forward and working with it? Because as you saw in the show, he ended up acknowledging it and moving forward and wants to do it more. And I think that's normalizing to a different level. And you're right, us adapting to the Western culture of it, of is seeing it head on and trying to deal with it. Uh, it's important, bro. So important. The problem is that in a world where we see everybody differently, and we've normalized that as well, which you shouldn't. Because I remember telling a friend about that time I tried to come to see you in New York, and I had to go through all of this shit. And it's just because my name, even when I tried to go LA and uh, Las Vegas, I had to go through all of the shit with the embassy just because of my name. My name. And she goes, that's not right. And I get searched every time when I go to the airport. I get searched every time when I go somewhere. And she was like, and she's Canadian, and she was like, and I said, I'm used to it now. And she goes, you shouldn't be though, because you've normalized it. And she was upset with the fact that I normalized it. And she was like, nah, man, I'm fucking pissed at you. You're not supposed to normalize shit like that because that's not fair on you as a person. And I didn't really sink in that day at work when she told me that. And I was like, it's only now in my older age I'm starting to feel like, well, you're right. We're not supposed to normalize that. The dehumanization of what's happening to the Palestinian people is not fucking normal. You know,
Mm-mm.
how can you normalize that with fucking kids dying and shit? Uh, excuse me. And most of us have normalized it. Most of us stayed away from it because we didn't want that backlash. But regardless of one thing, there's going to be something else that somebody else picks out. You know what I mean? Uh, and that's how we fuck up as a human race, and that's how we fuck up as a society. Uh, and I say it straight up to people, and some people may not like it because it's not politically correct. But fuck your politics, man. I'm not in that. I'm in the human business, and I have, human people in my life that I love and care for. I don't give a shit where they're from or what they believe in, as long as we're all caring for each other. Which I shouldn't say it in that sort of format, but I care for that person. When I message a friend, I care for that person. When I have a memory, I message that person. When we're going through stuff, we talk to a person. We do not. Oh, I'm going to speak to him because he's Christian. I'm going to speak to him because he's black. I'm going to speak to her because she's white. You know, it doesn't make sense that we live in a world like that. And I think this kind of has that premise, bro. Like, and that's why I'm going to give praise to Mo. You know, Mo, I think you introduced us to something that opened our eyes up much more wider as well, and sharing those stories. And I think with the change that we've had at heart, that's why it connected to us so much more, bro. And he made me feel like I was him. And if you can do that with good writing, good show, good humor, you've got something very good there, man. And you connect. And like, look, bro, I'm seeing the reviews and everything coming out. People are absolutely loving this, bro. Like a lot of praises to this brother. So, mashallah, man, I can only praise for more success and more stories like this. You know what I mean? And you've
Mm.
humanized everybody, whether any race, religion, disabilities. You've made it all one, and that's how it should be. And I think it's a universal story, universal language, bro. Uh, if people was to see the way we see things a little bit better, we wouldn't have that because when we sit down with Ahmed, Yakub, Dwayne, and all of our close friends, all from different parts of the world, uh, we see us, right?
That,
Us. If you say it like that, us, that changes everything. Uh, but we live in a world with fucking Republicans and Democrats and left wing, right wing, all this bullshit to segregate people. They're causing more mess, to be honest, than anything. Because later on in the future, and I think Harrison Ford said it, the next generation is a moral, generation. They're gonna be like, how did you guys fuck this up? And now you got all that shit on film. Do not underestimate the next generation. I think it's going to be crazy, crazy real. And even when our kids grow up and they see what we talk about, and it's like, look, man, they've been saying this shit for fucking years, man. Uh, and we're in 2025. This is crazy, bro. We're supposed to be, you know, fuck Elon Musk. We're supposed to be on the moon or the Mars, but we can't even do that properly. I think other countries are doing better than or the Western side of the world. But the Western's still got the power of propaganda and pushing bullshit to people's minds that it's pretty fucked up, bro. But anyway, tangent. We
yeah.
sorry, went on there, but that's what I mean. Like, see us as one, see it as one, and it's exactly what Mo did. He made it universal for everybody. So yeah,
I
sorry,
mean,
I
he
went.
used his platform in one of the most amazing ways ever. Like his talent, his platform, he used it in one of the most best ways ever. And going back to what you were saying, like normalizing your situation or whatnot. Well, now we are talking about it. We have this platform and we are talking about
Yeah,
it. In a
exactly.
situation, that's the thing is the problem is in some situation when you're at the airport, what are you gonna do? Fight the guy or tell him this is wrong? They don't give a shit It could cause you problems. That's their process. This is the way it is. They have normalized it. We don't have to. So that's why we use this platform to talk about it, our situations and all that sort of stuff. Talk about certain things that happen in the world. We're not normalizing what happens in the Congo. We're not normalizing what happens to Palestine. We're not normalizing the immigration that happens in people trying to get a better life for themselves and whatnot. And why they're trying to get better lives for themselves. Why have they moved from these countries? We're not normalizing that. We're talking about our platforms, and a lot of people are talking about it on their platforms. So and that's one way of doing it, right? I'm not saying it's the only way; it's a way of doing it. But yeah, no, shout outs to Mo. I mean, just a great piece of talent, just a great talent, and I'm sure he's built a lot of fans and a lot of awareness to the struggles of everything that he was trying to express with this show. So that goes down for me as like history. You know what I mean? Like that goes down like a piece of history when you look into the Palestinian Museum and stories of Palestinian. This should fit in there. I mean, this is how good it is, in my opinion. That should
100%,
fit in there with all
100%.
the books and storytelling they've told. This fits straight in there, and it's absolutely amazing. And they have to come out with more of this sort of stuff as natural as he did it. And I think I saw a clip with Harrison Ford talking about Captain America, and the interviewer was like, oh, how was you part of the show and blah blah blah, with big smiles, Marvel, Red Hulk. How did it feel being a part of? And she just ruined it at the end, in my opinion. Like, how did it feel about being with the first Black Captain America? And I'm like, you just ruined your whole question and moistness with that. Why did you say that? You have not normalized Captain. You're supposed to this whole point about normalization. Normalize Captain America as his character. This humble, honorable soldier that just wants to help and do the right thing for his people. And you asked the whole question and just ruined it with Black Captain America. And I think Harrison Ford handled it really well. He was just like, I don't see Black Captain America. Captain America could be red, green, blue. Like Captain America right now is Anthony Mackie. It's Sam Wilson. It's that honorable soldier who just wants to help people. That's who Steve Rogers with. That's what who Steve Rogers was. He wasn't a white Captain America. He was an honorable soldier who wanted to just help people and be a hero. That's who Sam Wilson is. So it's about this normalization. Even people who think they're trying to normalize it by saying he's a Black Captain. No, you're not normalizing it. You've just segregated it. Stop it. Talk about Captain America, who is Anthony Mackie is Captain America.
Captain America.
And he happens to be a Black American, or he happens to be a Black man. That's it. So, it all comes down to this. And this is the point about these sort of shows and good storytelling and good perspective of mind. Take that shit out of there. Let's talk about the character. Let's express the character. The more you emphasize on the character and the movie and the direction, the more you're going to normalize a Black Captain America, a Palestinian comedian, whatever it is.
Exactly.
So that's what's most important. Yeah, man, Mo smashed it. He got us thinking in so many ways. What an amazing,
I know.
amazing
Good
talent.
on him. Good on him.
Man, I mean, listen, bro, that was it. I mean, I think that was our final thoughts, to be honest with you. That was our final thoughts and verdicts. I mean, anyone and everyone can watch this show. You can be into comedy, you could be into drama, you can learn more about this situation. It doesn't matter. It's a Netflix show. You could just sit back and watch and binge. That's what it is.
Yeah,
a Friday
exactly,
night show, a Saturday, whatever it is. Like, there's nothing about it. Anyone could go watch it. So guys, if you haven't watched Mo, check out season 1. Check out season 2. It's bingeable. It's funny. It's heartfelt. There's so much to it. Go watch Mo on Netflix. Season 1 and 2 is streaming now. I could definitely watch both seasons again, so I might do that.
Yeah, definitely. It's rewatchable content, bro. And every time you'll notice little differences. So, guys, check it out. It's out on Netflix right now, and I hope you guys enjoyed that review.
Definitely, man. Cool. Kibbs, you wanna take us out?
Let's do this, guys. Massive thank you, as always, guys. Make sure you guys have click like, subscribe, and comment whether you dislike as well. Go for it. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Have you guys seen Mo season 2? Let us know what you think. As always, guys, massive thank you for the love on the channel, and we'll catch you guys up soon. One love. Peace.
Peace.